What's up, guys? I want to give you a really good look today at the Nikon P-Tactical 223. These are new for 2019 ShotShow. They are basically a replacement to Nikon's P series of scopes and also an improvement to those scopes at a very affordable price point. Now, if you haven't seen my Nikon P-Tactical review of their 3-9x40, be sure to check that out. I have it linked down below. You can check that one out as well. But we were sent this one out to show you guys, and that's exactly what we're going to do. This is in the 1.5 to 4.5 by 20 millimeters objective. And as you can see, this keeps a nice, lightweight, compact profile, great for throwing it onto your AR-15 or anything that is in, say, 223 or 308, which is what the reticle is basically calibrated for. Now, that being said, you might notice that this is sitting on top of a Ruger 1022. I was originally going to put this on to my AR-15. However, once I put this onto my 1022, because it's lightweight and because it's very compact, it just completed the look of this little 1022 with Magpul stock, going for a tactical look to it. So it really, really did complete that, and I really like the way it looks on there. So how does this work on a 22 LR rifle? Well, it's really very simple. Because the calibration inside of here is for 223 or 308, you can still use this by going to Nikon's Ballistic App. So once you got this app downloaded from the App Store, you just go ahead and open it up, and you can see it brings you right to basically step one. You select a scope, and we're going to go ahead and go with this Nikon P-Tactical 223. Again, the 1.5, 4.5 by 20 with the BDC out to 600. Ammunition selection is going to be the 22 LR. Going to be using CCI's 40 grain mini mag, high velocity, copper plated round nose. And then go ahead and select your target distance. You can select to, I'm just going to go ahead and select 100 and out to 40 yard 0 is where I'm going to be at. So we'll go ahead and hit fire, and you can see that brings up what the reticle is going to be at, what distances that you'll be shooting at. And you can see here with a 40 yard 0 out to 100 yards, each one of these reticle markings here, the subtensions, are going to be at the distances that you see on the side. You can expand the BDC out. You can take a closer look at that to see exactly what it's going to be. And from there, you can take a look at the ballistic table right here, which also gives you a pretty good idea of what things are going to, what the bullets are going to do when they get out there at that distance, and what reticle you'll be at. And you also have a quick field chart right here, which gives you just a real quick general idea of which BDC that you'll be using at what distances and at what zoom. So you can see this BDC, Nikon's Ballistic App here, basically, Spot On Ballistic App, is an excellent little item to have. And now I can actually use this scope with this reticle inside of here on my 1022 with no issue, and I can know exactly where it's going to hit. So when I first received this scope, I was actually going to put it on my AR pistol 223. 5.56, but however, I went ahead and slapped it onto my 1022 just to see how it would look being a tactical scope. And being that my 1022 is going for a tactical look to it, it actually really completed the look of this rifle, and I really do like that. Being that it is a 1.5 at its lowest setting, makes it really nice to be able to take shots on something a lot closer and not having to drop to iron sights. Say having to have your scope raised up really high to be able to have the co-witness under the scope with iron sights. No need for that with this one right here, because you can take your closer shots at no problem with that 1.5 zoom. Again, at 1.5 zoom, there's really not too much of a difference, as you can see from this footage right here. And for those of you who are not familiar with holding a camera up to a scope and trying to accurately represent the way it looks, just know that it looks a lot better than what I'm capturing right here, because it is actually really hard to capture how a scope looks and using basically what your eye can actually see. But anyway, getting past that, as you can see, even at full zoom, you can still see quite a few at distance. You can actually see your targets. Not a bad, for 22 LR, you're looking at 1.5 to 4.5. That zoom range right there, almost anybody should be able to work with those distances using a 223 anyway, and using 22 LR. I really like the scope on this 1022 because, again, it really does complete the look of this little 1022. I'm not completely done with this little rifle here, but it is looking really good so far. It's actually, the scope is fairly light and compact on here, weighing in at 14.8 ounces and about 10.2 inches in length. So if you want to take a quick look at the 223 subtensions, if you're going ahead and putting this on, say, an AR or any 223 or 308 rifle, you can take a look at the inner ring is about, at 100 yards, is about an inch. and then that's at your max zoom. Of course, all of these representations are at max zoom. So you can see your outer ring of the subtension is 2 inches at 100 yards wide. So again, that's at full zoom. And then your first ring is about 1.5 inches at 100 at full zoom. Perfect for 22 LR, depending on what your zero is. I can actually use these subtensions with 22 LR depending on my ammo and depending on my zero. Take a quick look at these turrets here. Again, as expressed in the last video when I did the review on the 3-9x40, these turrets are no different. They're exactly the same, and they are very nice. The cut on these, as mentioned before, are very nice. They actually kind of dig into your skin, and again, not in an obtrusive way. However, it is a very tactile feel to it. And the click adjustments as well, you can actually feel in your fingertips with Ear Pro on. You don't have to listen for them. Is a very nice, audible, notable feel to the click adjustments. Doesn't really feel like you're going to skip any adjustments or anything like that. You can easily count them out as you go through the adjustment. Another nice thing about these turrets is, again, there are markings all the way around the turret, which lets you know exactly which direction you need to go in and exactly where you're at all times at any given area, no matter how you're looking at your rifle. And again, these markings are not painted. These are actually etched into the coating that's on here, this anodization. I think it's anodized. But these are actually etched into here, so there's not going to be any like rubbing of the paint or anything like that off of the... You're not going to lose any markings. It's going to be really nice. Should be pretty good for long term, but we'll find out a little later on. Another nice thing about these turrets is that once you find your adjustment that you need, you can simply pull on the spring-loaded adjustment, bring it to the zero mark, and drop that back down, knowing where your zero is at all times whenever you rotate that dial. As for the eye relief, you're looking at a 3.5 inches at all times with this throughout all of the zoom range. So that's kind of nice. You're not having to move your head back and forth on the stock to try to find that sweet spot in the scope. This is a constant 3.5 inch eye relief, so it's very nice. Moving on down to the eyepiece here, you can see it is a very quick focus eyepiece that is also cut, such as the turrets are. So you can easily grab onto that and move that around as you see fit. Once you find your spot, you pretty much set it and forget it. So that's kind of nice to have that. So as you can see, this scope really does have a lot to offer at a very affordable price point. This is, some of the things that stand out to me in this scope, and with Nikon scopes in general, is the intense clarity that you get when you're looking through this scope. If you haven't had the chance to take a look at a Nikon, in the more budget-friendly areas, the Nikon scopes really do stand out. And this one is no exception at all. You got the intense clarity, the durability, the quality, and at a great price point offered by Nikon. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for you for right now. We're going to have a full build video with this little Ruger 1022 here. We're not quite done with it, but if you want to check that out a little later on, be sure to check out our videos when they come out, and be sure to hit that notification button to let you know whenever we put out a new video. But I appreciate you guys watching right now. I appreciate them sending this scope out to show you guys, and we will catch you guys on the next video.